Hello, everyone. I'm Artie Patterson Jones, and you have tuned in to my channel, which is What a Wonderful Life. We're talking to all of us who are in our 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and on, and just, the issues of life and what we go through. My last posting has been a little over a month. I've gone through some medical issues, which I'll share with you a little bit later. But I'm good. I'm good. I'm blessed, and God is good. And we're back posting again. Um, we are going to be talking about times and seasons. Our last posting was on change, so this is just a continuation of what we were talking about before. This came to me as I was reading in our Holy Bible, Ecclesiastes, the third chapter, and how Solomon was talking about that for there's a time and season for every intention under heaven, for everyone. That's just for everyone, not just for me, not just for people that you know, but everyone goes through some type of season in their lives. Now, granted, sometimes it's brought on by things that shouldn't have happened, maybe crime and things that people have gotten into that were not so desirable, and they'll end up in places that they didn't think they would be, like incarcerations and so forth. But also we're talking about things that have come upon us, like our medical issues and family issues that didn't happen when we were in our 20s, 30s, and 40s. It just didn't. We were in a different time in our life. So we want to talk today about how to actually embrace those times. Just whatever you're going through, even if it is a difficult time, and you may be in situations that you never thought you would be. This will pass. It really will. As you go through the times and seasons in your life, we take inventory of who we are and where we are, and we are thankful to be alive. That's the first thing. We're thankful that we're at this place, that we have the wisdom and the knowledge now to actually share with other people. That's the reason for the season. Just to know that as we embrace God in our lives, that we can help others. And we're at a place in our lives that we can actually show with our experience and our strength that these things we can go through. Maybe you have family members that are incarcerated or in hospitals or nursing homes, or even some of us may have relatives that have become homeless or what have you, and there's not a whole lot you can do to help. But guess what? You can actually help others by doing everything you know to do with what you've experienced, giving resources, blessing when you haven't even been asked to, taking charge of situations in your life where, for instance, I was in the hospital just recently. It's been about 6 weeks since I posted. I ended up in the hospital with a very serious medical condition. I have a transplanted heart, and this heart began to fail. Thank God I didn't go into heart failure, but it was so serious that I was in ICU for 12 days. This is something I couldn't do anything about. It was just something that came upon me. I thought I had the flu. And guess what? It was scary. But in Ecclesiastes, it says there's a time to gain and there's a time to lose. There's a time to embrace and there's a time to let go. There's a time to keep and there's a time to just cast off those things. And I just began to understand whatever state I'm in, I'm going to be content, because in this time and season, it's for a reason. I'm so glad. Now I can continue to help people. How? By letting them know, hey, I've gone through some of the same things that you've gone through. I'm dealing with some of the same things you're dealing with. People think everyone has are easy on easy street. But that's not true. Just because you don't show it, don't mean you're not going through it. So let's embrace the times and seasons in our lives. Let's know that whatever we're going through, that change is taking place for a reason. I asked my mother one time, Mom, is it true that the second half of your life is better than, and before I could get all the words out, she said, oh yes, the second half of life is so much better. Oh yes. And then I thought wow, I'll be glad when I can get there, because see, at that time, I was in the thick of raising my children alone as a single mother, a widow. So it just didn't make sense to me that she would have such a great time, because I was in that season of my life. Now that I'm in this new time and season, I can see better. I have more wisdom and more knowledge. I'm more perfected in different areas. And guess what? I'm still learning. I'm still learning about myself. I'm still learning about who I am. And I'm learning about others. I continue to have desires to do things that I didn't even want to do before. Travel never came to my mind in my 20s and 30s. I was just so busy trying to, make things happen with my family. Now that's one thing that I like to do. I would love to continue to do that. So there are many things and many situations in our lives. You may have to let go of some relationships. You may have to let go of some friends or people that you thought were your friends. You may have to let go of a career that you thought would just make you rich, and you've been on it for 40 years. Maybe it's time for you to try a new skill. Maybe you can learn to paint, or learn to write music, or to play music, or to write a book. Maybe this new season is calling you into a new area in your life where you can experience new things, and at the same time, help others that are coming our way. Isn't that wonderful? That's so exciting. So the times and seasons are for a reason for all of us. We mourn when we lose loved ones. We mourn when we lose things and relationships. But it also says, and there's a time to mourn and a time to dance, which means you will get over it. You will become happy. This thing will pass, as the old folks used to tell us. No matter the situation. You may be having a hard time dealing with some adult children, dealing with grandchildren. Maybe they're awry, maybe they're gone, they're out in the street, and we have an opioid addiction now in the United States that we never had before, or we weren't aware of it. Alcoholism and drugs. Maybe there are people that you know, or maybe you have that problem. Guess what? There's a time and a season in your life that you can be delivered, that they can be delivered from that through counseling, through therapy, and through God's help. So understand, no matter what we're going through, we have the victory. We know the times are better now than they ever have been before for us, and we embrace everything that's good, and we let go of everything that is not. Don't be afraid to let go. Don't be afraid to tear down something that's been built around you. Don't be afraid to, one of the verses says, to just, there's a time to keep and there's a time to just let it go. Don't be a hoarder. Some things we just got to let go. Just leave it alone. Whether it's spiritual, whether it's natural. Have a village of people around you that will bless you and not curse you, because this is important for our growth and for others around us. Well, that's my time. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again. Don't forget to subscribe and to share this with others. Love you much. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.